This is Michi, this is ACR Zakspeed, and it's the third part of the community challenge being given by Michael Clark. So for those of you who followed me driving the Lola T280 around Targa Florio, you've seen me struggling quite a bit, or also crashing and hitting walls and blankets and stuff, and probably will happen today as well. But definitely with a different car. So after some sort of failing the target to put in 36s in the Lola T280, which apparently was a valid target and a target I definitely could have done. We have been given the chance to like skip the Lola for the yeah, actually for the Porsche 911 RSR. So that is exactly what we're going to do now. As I already have fired up the game, fired up the sim. So I'm going to go for this track. Florio, there we go. So the Targa Florio, not in the Oreca, which is a nice car to drive, as you've seen last night. But we are going to take out the 911 RSR in its iconic livery. So that's what we're going to do right now. Hey Claudio, hey Sadas. Sadas, I've received your mail. I haven't read through it yet though, because I was having different tasks for that morning. So here we are again, Targa Florio. It could be an awful piece of driving. I have no idea whether this track or this car is actually being okayish to drive around Targa Florio in its standard configuration, but we'll find out pretty soon. Once again, I'm taking the car out without any help. So we're just about to find out how things are going. Yes, that is surely at some point. Seats. Gonna take this off. I don't know why. What is up there in the background that keeps blinking going on. I do not need the camera on the backside, but I want to definitely see something outside the windows. So put limiter on. Oh, I forgot to disable the auto clutch. Other than that, invulnerability off. Quick check. Alright. So here we go. Probably not before tomorrow, Sadas. Whoa, car is a lot more understeery than the Lola. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna do the very same thing. Oh, for God's sake. What is actually triggering this thing? So I'm starting this chrono up here. Because last time when we were around here, we got our time, for some reason, being invalidated to a cut, which to my liking or to my understanding never appeared. So I just want to prevent that and keep going. Once again, the wiper is in my way. Yeah. But this is the default position of it, so I can't do anything about it. The car actually might look like being easier to drive because it's stable and a little bit more. Not sure how to say it. A little more predicted. Yet. Don't be fooled. It's a lot harder on the brakes because it's not stopping in time, so if I really outbrake myself, that is pretty much done. And it has a lot less grip. So for those of you who are wondering whether this lap time will be quicker than the Lola, I do not think so. There we go, first contact. Next contact. Oh dear. The good thing is though, right now the damage is not too much of an impact. But obviously that can change throughout the entire lap we do. What is a bit forgiving is that the car has an inbuilt traction control. I would say that definitely helps. Alright, into the city we go. The right tender coming up after this one, and then we have contact with people. I'm sorry. We have a triple left-hander. Oh, shit. Yep, that has killed the car, quite obvious. So yeah, as I said, it's a different thing really, because this car is a total different beast. Go. Ignition. I've also not looked at fuel. I might actually run out of fuel before I cross the finish line. So I'd rather take a little bit more fuel with me and a hard tire just to make sure that it will last. And what I'm also gonna do is put up the maximal brake pedal force, so at least we do have some braking force available. I hope you're alright with that, Michael. Other than that, I just keep going. Still says short on fuel. Since I have no clue on how the car really performs fuel wise, I just fuel up the tank completely. Well, this is extremely hot in here today. I wished for rain so much, but it just didn't come yet. So hard tires probably does mean even less grip. Here we go. Start the timer. Car has a lot more weight in the back now. Hey Sim Racing, I tell you a good joke. I did not even know that this exists, like this racetrack at all. Like there has been a 72-kilometer road course which has been used for historic racing. I had no clue until Michael Clark came up with it, and it's a hot one, that's for sure. If you want that link towards that track, just feel free to mail me at Michi@avechronicracing.com, and I'm more than happy to share it with you. And Stormbringer, thank you so much for subscribing, and the reason you're subscribing is just, let me say, pathetic, because I want a thunderstorm with heavy rain to take place so badly right here. So if I can get out a joke, Stormbringer, please do your job, bring me a storm. That would be awesome. I'm begging for rain the entire week now, and obviously right here the nature needs it pretty much. Not just me for cooling issues, it's also the grass is yellow instead of green because it's dry as hell. Alright, let's do the journey in the city a lot better this time. Better not to hit the footpaths on the side of the road. Hey James. All those bumps. I hear you, Sim Racing. I hear you. Right now, I can some sort of master the way up to the city. Still with mistakes though, and little out of the city. But other than that, really, there we go. That's exactly what I mean. I'm pretty much clueless of the entire track. Oh. No. I think last time Michael said I'm at least allowed to put in vulnerability on, and just, you know, for various or for obvious reasons, I'm doing it again. And Michael, feel free to mourn about that and send me out again. James, I'm happy to get you a great start into the day. I hope actually for everyone that is. Hey Scuderia. You know what? People are saying iRacing is getting better and better as well, and yet at the end of the day, I'm not loving iRacing as well. Obviously, one could argue that rFactor 2 has its issues. Yes, they have. I think every sim has. But as you say, they're trying to improve the sim. We as a community try to give credit for that. And you know, I had a very interesting talk to Marcel Offermans this night actually. So I tested the new Sebring track, which is the first laser scan track for rFactor 2. And I told him, you know what, no worries what the community is saying about you want to charge people for €9 for that track. It's alright, it's fine. It needs finance, it needs investment. And other than some business angel or something, rFactor 2 is not gonna get any money if they do not charge for the content. I just said, you know what, I don't care whether I pay €9 and get the 85% of quality track out there, as long as I do know they keep working on it and fix the bugs and stuff. And that's what they're doing. So they definitely deserve the money. They deserve the investment by the community. They deserve their work and effort being somewhat of paid. So they get another fund for more content, for more laser scan tracks. Because let's be honest, renting that track to put a standard road car with some 3D cameras on its roof costed them an awful lot of money, because the Sebring International Raceway had to close the racetrack for maintenance, more or less, for an entire day. That means they had no income or no revenue of the track, which obviously they let Studio 397 pay for. So, and also Studio 397 has put itself a lot of work, you know, getting the bumps in, getting the bumps modeled, getting the bumps to a point where the cars are difficult to drive on, but not annoyingly hard to drive. That again requires devs and stuff, and working people in the background. They get their salary, that needs to be paid as well. So at the end of the day, I think it's more than reasonable to come around with a track of that quality for €9, which is a lot cheaper than iRacing content, but yet to me has the same quality standards. Obviously within the standard rFactor 2 boundaries, which are obviously different to the iRacing ones, but within its boundaries it's absolutely reasonable to charge €9 for the track. So I can only encourage you guys to do it, and get your support out for rFactor 2 to make them keep working hard on the content and produce more exclusive and more high quality cars and tracks and stuff, so that yeah, give rFactor 2 an opportunity to grow and improve ourselves. Hey Twiggy, haven't seen you for a while, how are you? Hope you're good. At least I didn't make contact with the big concrete. Around this corner, here we go, up the hill. Shit. Twiggy, I'm alright. I'm waiting for Stormbringer to bring a storm. And for so long I'm sweating. Damn. For so long I'm sweating my ass off here in that Porsche 911. I was stuck on something. Yeah, it's extremely hot in here. We got 26 degree ambient temperature in the room and a humidity of 89% that morning. So that is how I feel right now. And obviously this track is not helping me as well with cooling down. In fact, it makes things worse. But it's a good fun, it's a good challenge somehow. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that was not necessary. For some reason I found myself a lot of fun trying to learn this track. And I still need to adapt my mind that this Porsche is not as powerful grip and engine wise for those corners right here. So I need to still adjust my driving, which I'm giving myself a hard time with at the minute. I agree with you, Devin. I do not know what is the current conditions at your home, but right now it's just cloudy outside, but it's extremely warm. You know, you come out outside the door and you feel like running against a wall of humid air. And that is what things making so difficult. You know, I have no issues with heat itself. I can sit myself into good sauna with a 60, 70, 80 degrees and have... What was that? And have no issue whatsoever. But if I sit myself into 50 degree sauna and put water on over the oven and it's getting humid as hell, Jesus, I'm done. I'm out of that. But I agree. At least we do have some cooling going on right now. Crap. Sorry. It's going to be interesting how this car is going for the very tight corners, which I'm approaching in a good 2 or 3 minutes. The Lola, I was able to somehow drift around that. Oh, let's this time not smash into this wall of stone. Yoo-hoo! I avoided that. Nope. The Lola definitely dealt more easy with the bumps. I agree, Sim Racing. Well, the problem is that imagine I would have an FSR weekend or another race going on right now. Say the 24 hours of Spa or Le Mans or whatever. You know, speed is not an excuse. You have to be there. You have to perform, despite against all odds, though. Can't tell this performance what I'm doing here right now. With the number of laps I'm already driven around here, this should be a bit better than it is. This car suddenly seems like hanging itself up on the pollards other than the Lola. Maybe it's just a subjective thinking, or it's just subjective expression. Could also obviously been me coming a lot more closer to them than before. Well, Twiggy is absolutely right. I had a very same feeling. I was coming home from work yesterday, and obviously the car has air conditioning, and you put the air conditioning into some kind of okay-ish ambient temperature, but you forget to turn it off short before you come at home, and then you park the car, open the door, and you're like, want to close the door again immediately and keep sitting in the car for another, I don't know, for another hour in that air-conditioned room. Well, James, I think it's all about the humidity. No one ever complains about dry heat and about dry 35 degrees where you can sit at the beach or pool and enjoy yourself in the water. Well, you know, in the current conditions right now, you go out to water, you never really dry up because the air itself is so wet. Honestly, if I build a house at some point, I put my sim racing stuff definitely into a cellar and have like standard air conditioning all year long. Because no worries in the winter when you put yourself on the computer and turn it on. The heat that develops is fair enough to shit. Fuck. Yeah, good luck coming out of that clusterfuck now. Yeah, I think I'm stuck in that wall. Shit. Right. Don't ever do that again. Oh, here we go again. Crap. Oh really, James? Yeah, rFactor 2 has a nice kind of camera control you can do. No, that was not worth a screenshot, really. So, am I gonna restart this? Down to once and never again. Well, Heiko, at some point it's always going to be the first time, isn't it? Can we survive that part? Actually pretty nicely. Alright, 3 tight right-handers in a row. First one. Tough. Till that point, the best Targa Florio performance of myself ever. kind of meaningless in what kind of car it was. Until there. I think there's just a third tight apex coming right here. There we go. I absolutely agree, Devin. Half of this track actually is Isle of Man for cars. Oh shit. No, 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 no. Calm down. Oh. I have no clue about Pikes Peak, but it's definitely a challenging part, or a challenging track overall. I mean, if you have a lot of time to focus on this and want to learn this, you could get yourself in that car on that track for probably weeks and months. Yeah, store that car. Right, this car really reacts differently on bumps and all that kind of stuff. And that is my main issue right now, because the Lola also jumped over some bumps, no doubt about that, but it was not as violent and as uncontrolled as this Porsche. Which obviously is a common problem with rFactor 2 and mods and stuff. A lot of people are building the cars actually not 100% towards real life. So a car that has been modded by someone might actually not be able to be driven quite good on a modded track or on an official Studio 397 track, because the suspension and the entire car geometry is interfering with the track, which leads to stupid and weird car behavior. So, thank you very much, Devin, for explaining. That is the problem. The diffuser stalling in the rear end, the rear grip is gone immediately. That was bouncing out though. It's still fun and challenging though, which I do appreciate and I like to some extent, obviously. I bet myself €10 that I'm gonna get stuck in that fence again, because I won't recognize the position where it just flew away. 10 minutes into the drive. Stop. Pretty sure I flat spotted the front left, the front right now. Oh, them bumps though. Freaking hell. I know one Italian road at Lago di Garda that has a serpentine which literally has a 40 or 45 percentage of steepness, and every single time I'm up there, I'm not taking this serpentine or this hairpin on the very inside because I'm just freaking scared that my car bounces out or bottoms out with the front bumper on the track. That is how steep this hairpin around this track is, or this road up the hill. And then they the Italians come around with their Piaggios and taking this. For crying out loud. Just too stupid for pushing the clutch. So, 10 euros to myself. I crashed in the stupid fence again. I think every single time I went up this racetrack I crashed into that stupid fence. Exactly, Devin. Obviously I did not do it on purpose, but I was sure it was gonna happen. You know, another disadvantage of my my rig. I cannot really attach the pedals to the floor, and with this stupid load cell brake bumper in the clutch pedal, I keep moving the modesty to the panel. Come down. Yeah, there's a option in controls. So when you go controls, there's an on tap for force feedback, and the basic force feedback settings are about to be set in the standard control panel. But since Devin is around and he knows rFactor 2 quite well, he may explain maybe. But stop, I need to go sharp to the left. Croc. Right, we're short before that crossing where I have to take the... For crying out loud! This is really bad performance. I didn't crash into that fence though. Yeah, that was a mistake from simply not knowing the track by heart. Huh. Warning, cut track, lap will not count. I do not care because I got my timer running on the top right, on the top in the center. So you guys are a little bit more clever than I at the minute. You see what kind of lap time I'm on about, and I don't. But the good thing is I can keep going. Oh shit, now I got the flat spot done prior to this bridge. Nevertheless, we keep going. Good point, Devin. Should think about that for the future. Despite them someone... Oh. Shit. Despite them someone that usually goes for real, so the rules are on in usually, but yeah, I agree. I mean, if some glitches are in the track, I should probably think about putting them off for such activity. Turn. Right now it's kind of hard to see whether you're seeing shadow or the track. Or the trees. Herman, I'm about to try to qualify for VEC together with Devin after next week. Oh shit. Just right now, so bad. But I think I'm close to the second city. Or close to the hilltop. Shit. I was so lucky right now. need to drive with a little bit more attention again. Right hand side, that is the grass we have right in front of my door. The yellow dry grass that definitely needs a lot of water right there. So Stormbringer, please bring in the storm and let it rain all over us. Would be awesome. Oh, the bumpiness. God. You know, sometimes I go so close towards the road signs and to the cobblestones and the car is literally alright, and sometimes I feel like still being a meter away and the car gets yeah, in contact with them. Woohoo! We're in the second city. This corner's just too tight. Oh, Obviously I was also too quick. So this is the third time I'm going down after that town, and I have to say that the part after the town is the more easy part of the track, because the track is a little wider, the corners are not as sudden and as sharp and as bad to see than beforehand, and as you can see it's more of a quicker run with a little bit more straights. Until you lose it. Obviously I'm taking high risk at the minute. Definitely want to squeeze out a little bit more lap time. Shit. Saw that wall, hit the brakes, understeered straight into it. Car would have been dead already up the hill. I think 1 or 2 corners until we see the beach again or the seaside. Could be that area right now. There we are. So not very long until the third city, and then we go over longest period of straights. tend to lose orientation in that point, not knowing where the track is going around. Carabinieri is on the left-hand side. Here we go. Time to chill out a bit. We'll be very interested in the lap time in the end. Because initially I thought that the Porsche is not as quick as the Lola, but just from my personal feeling right now, I think I might be wrong. James, no need really to sleep. It ends sooner than you think it does. There's just another left-hander. Was caught up 3 times by flying over some hill to an off-track area. I think that is yet to come. Around here or somewhere. Oh, that it is. The first time ever I'm taking this area right. Usually I just go straight and jump down. Shit. No. Hence why I'm completely off guard now. Skid marks, there we are. Turn around. An unnecessary 20 additional seconds, but anyway, coming around that lap time. There we are, stop it. Pause. A 3 minute 34.27 or something. Interesting. I didn't actually feel like being quicker in the car beforehand up the hill, but apparently it wasn't that slow, which some sort of is an interesting thing to me. Thank you, James. Honestly, it was more the minor mistakes this time that made me look alright, so to say. You know, and notch the wall here and there without being totally thrown off guard, off the track. Well, thank you very much indeed. Thank you everyone that is having a watch right here, having a discussion going on. I'm pretty happy that this one is over right now. It really took the sweat out of me, I can tell you that. And once again, Michael Clark, thank you so much for throwing it at me, though, because that was one of the real challenges. And yeah, James, if you mail me at hoyermichi@avidchronicracing.com, I will put in the link. Maybe I can also try pulling it down the description later on. That was definitely one of the big challenges, and really looking forward to the challenge that's coming up together with the Simpit. We're taking out. There was a famous Top Gear challenge, man with a van. We're gonna do exactly that, a man with a van around the Nordschleife. Trying to beat the lap time of Sabine Schmitz, which was a 10-minute 07 in a van. So we're gonna figure out how that works. Probably that is being taken out on a Assetto Corsa then. Other than that, I have to say thank you so much, guys, for being here. Was a great run in the end for me. Not saying great in terms of particularly good, but great in terms of fun. There were some track passages and some areas of the track where I was really satisfied with myself, to say the least. Yeah, but I'm not sure whether I ever will achieve a clean lap around there in my life. Not really sure about that. Anyway, it was good fun. I'm sorry, I do see that the the Motec file is being uploaded to the drive, so that is explains the bad video quality at the minute. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you a lot of fun watching Formula 1 qualifying, which is on the way in good 40 minutes. Not sure whether I will be live tomorrow. If not, I got a little surprise for the Germans going on, because we had a little sim racing talk in the city nearby. Sorry, but we were only speaking German right there. Anyway, I've uploaded it. It has not the best quality since the caster's microphone was not picked properly. But it's actually alright. I have looked a little bit into it, and you can listen to it. So yeah, hence why I will put it up. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a nice weekend altogether.